Hello everybody, this is William Sunstrider, and today we're going to learn how to make a 25 plot couch potato garden that only takes 21 energy to maintain by using medium cast spells. The spells you will be using are the medium shower for 8 energy, medium flute duet, and you could use the bug bolt at 5, and that gives you a total of 21 energy. Now it should be noted that when you are going to cast spells on this, if you move the cursor up here, that the garden gnome right there, okay, when you get the couch potatoes to mature, you may not be able to see this ring right here in the middle of the couch potatoes. Now when you have seeds going all the way up in the vicinity, when you get to the garden gnome right there, your cursor will go from that red X to a green check mark. So when you see the green check mark right there at about that height, that's how you'll know that you can cast your feeding spells. Okay? So you want it right there. Second thing that's going to help you is don't put any objects immediately behind your couch potato garden, because if the items are back here and you're casting from the front and you happen to hit one and it's within range of a seed, it's going to say, oh, that's good to cast. Well, no, it's not good to cast. See, you just want the garden gnome, and like nothing behind it. It's good to have your likes on the sides, but as long as you don't go clear over here, you're fine. You'll notice that the garden has this unique spiral design. It goes up in a ramp spiral. And I recently discovered that these gold blossom rugs, which are readily available in the bazaar, have a really unique property in that the top of them, when you place them on the ground, the top of these is slightly above the ground. Okay, and when you stack them, it allows you to build up in a ramp. And I'm going to show you during construction how this works. And okay, I think that's it for this section of the video, and we'll move on to construction. Okay, in front of us here we have our construction materials for our spiral garden. You will have 4 golden blossom rugs. I prefer about 5 small blue trim rugs, 2 tatami floor mats, 1 long blue runner, and then a couple of crates, as long as they don't have chickens on top. No reinforced crates. Those should be fine. Pies, jelly beans, what have you. Also dark crates work well. And then here we also have, for our likes, we have the garden gnome, tropical garden gnome. We have the sandwich station, and we have the litter for couch potatoes. The king parsley, you probably saw in the previous section. You just set it off to the side and plant it, and leave it at elder or leave it dead, and that should work just fine as far as being in range. You don't want to have it really close to your potatoes because you'll end up harvesting the king parsley as well. And next we're going to go over here and pick a spot. I picked up all my materials, and I'll put my little spiral garden in this area here. Now there's something that I need to explain to you why this works. Okay, I use the gold blossom rug here for placing my plots. A lot of people don't know that this particular rug works. But what's important to note is that this rug has a certain thickness to it. In other words, when I place something on top of the rug, or I put a plot, a large soil on top of it, like so, it is slightly above the ground. It is not on the surface of the grass. Let me pick this up. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you. I'll set another plot here right next to it. And I'm just going to kind of show you this in test. Okay. Now just take a small blue trim and you try to push that rug underneath the plot and it doesn't go. It doesn't want to go. Okay. But you come over here to this one. Look at that. You can place a rug right underneath there. This plot is slightly taller than this one. Okay. So that's going to make it easier for us to do things and to work with. Okay. And you might ask, how do we get our spiral ramp design? Well, that's coming right up next. Get that torn up. Now, we're going to take our base gold blossom rug right there. Okay. There's our first level, and that represents the height of this plot. Okay. I'm going to lay out 3 blue trims. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. And then I'm going to put some gold blossom rugs just on the upper edge, like so. Okay. And then I'm going to go like this. Now remember that this rug has a height that goes up. So if I take these individual rugs, go 1, 2, well, let's see, I can't quite do that. I'm going to turn the corner here. And 3, like so. Come along the side. Okay. This rug will now be higher than these others. I went up 1, 2, 3 spots. So I'm going to take my small blue trim, place it right underneath this edge. Okay. Move this directly over this plot. I'm going to move 1, 2 spaces over. Just like that. Okay. And you can see already that our next rug is higher. Okay. We're over 2 spaces and are higher. So this is what gives us our ramp as we're going up. Okay. Again, I'm going to take this, I'm going to turn it around this side, this way. Go the other direction. That will let me. I'm going to go straight up that way. Set down to somewhere here. 1, 2, 3. Set down 3 of them. 1, 2, and 3. And then start building up again on my base. 1, 2, and 3. Now, as we can see here, come along on this end, put our blue trim under here, give it a move. Set it there. And put our next soil down. Okay, now at this point I'm going to take a break. Well, I'm going to pause the video actually, and I'm going to build up to a certain height, and then we'll come back and you can see how I'm kind of building up, and I'm going to go around the corners and build my way up. Alright, now I've come to a stopping point during my construction, and I have to show the placement of the garden gnome. As you can see, going around the sides, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plots. So 10 plots is the stopping point for what we want to do next. And also each of these is like two spaces apart. You go 1, 2, 1, 2, and this way you go 1, 2, 1, 2, and all the way up, all the way around the outside along the spiral. Here's kind of what has to happen to get your gnome into place. It's a little bit tricky, but I'm sure you guys can do it. Set down a couple of crates. I'm going to set crate right there. Okay, one right behind it there. And that's, as we look at this plot, which is a middle plot, the crates are just a little bit right of center, and that's fine. Now, put the long blue runner. Now, since those are right of center on the crates, my blue trim rug is just going to be a little bit right of center on the runner. Right of center here, right of center here on the runner. I move the runner up to here. Okay. Now here I've assembled another gold blossom and a blue trim, and I'm going to move that. Let's see, I've got to back this up a bit. Complications sometimes happen. Just take this, move it out of the way, take my crate, pull it back just a little bit. That'll give me room for the blue trim. We're going to place it. Now you see it's going to be right over the other rug right there. You see there's two of them. And then we go to decorations, grab the tropical gnome. I'm going to put it right about there, right on that edge. Right there. Now, and that's the placement for the gnome. I'm going to get this out of the way. To be real careful not to pick up your base. Move the crate first. Move the upper blue trim first, because this is our base right here for elevation. If you pick those up by accident, you have to start all over, counting up 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 on the rugs till you get to the right elevation. So anyway, we're right there, and as we look at this, at the point right there, going across that middle plot, it goes right to the gnome. Okay, we go over here at this, look at this plot, and from point to point, it goes straight right to the gnome. That is the center. Okay, very good. So we've got our gnome placed. At this point, we just keep building up till we get all the way up to 25 plots. And at this point, I'm going to use a little trick. I'm going to have some accelerated video so that you can view this more quickly. Okay, at this point we have a nice tight compact spiral of 25 plots, so we can have 25 couch potatoes with minimum energy, only 21 energy to maintain this. Um, some people like to use the pest zapper or dragonflies. You can save energy over time that way. But given this design, low-level characters should have extra energy to spare for pet training. Um, at this point, we're going to start doing our likes. I'm going to take this. We'll just move this over here, spin it a little bit. You can set up your own crates, place your own items if you like. I'll put the sandwich station right up here, and then we'll move this to the other side. Put the litter over here. Good. And you can place your king parsley wherever you like. You can usually get away with it about that close, and all of the plots or the plants will detect the like. Quick notes again on this. Remember that with your gnome in the middle, and you go to cast on it, when you have seeds in place and you go to cast your spell and you have the seeds, your cursor will turn green. You might see a little bit of this ring when the potatoes get to mature. I mean, they're just awfully big. But the key indicator will be that your cursor turns to a green check mark, okay, when it's at the right spot. Also, with this design, we are not limited to just large plots. I mean, you could do this with medium plots. If you want to do this for magma peas, if you want to do this for prickly pear cactus, just get the right type plots, lay them down, put them in your little spiral, and you'll only use a tiny, tiny bit of energy. And I think that's about it. This is William Sunstrider. Thank you very much for watching my video, and have a great night.